Hello everybody. I've been trying all day to do this journal flip, and here it is night with bad lighting, but I'm going to start anyway. This will be my first video in a long time. Anyway, here's my current journal that I'm using, and it's a Mead journal, and I got it at the Goodwill store on half price day. You can see the spine is a little messed up. This is where I am right now. That's part of today's entry, and I've got a lot to finish tonight. I only got this much more to go, so I expect to start a new journal in July. It's got this ribbon marker in it, and let's see. Okay, this is an envelope of, I don't know, just papers and things that I might glue into the journal at some point. Just things. Most of these I got in a swap from swapbot.com. These little Shopkins package papers. I really like Shopkins, so I saved those, and I'll cut those out and glue them in at some point. And so at the front of my journal, I've saved movie tickets from part of this year. Maybe last two. Yeah, some of them were in 2014, I see. These are movies, some of the movies that I've seen: Book of Life, Into the Woods, Mockingjay, Maze Runner, and Tomorrowland. Mockingjay was by far the best, I think. And so on the next page, see here, you can tell a page was torn out when I got it. Okay, so I've got a list of the books I read in 2014. Read 22 books last year, and then this year so far, 2015, I've only read 7. So actually I'm on the 7th now. I haven't finished it. And this was started Friday, August 22nd, 2014. And you'll see I've got eggs here and a number. Every entry has that because I keep chickens and sell the eggs, so that's just a record of how many eggs I get every day. And when I started, I've kept a journal for quite a few years now, but when I started this one, I was just writing, you know, not very decoratively interesting. I'll also I babysit, and I just mark when she comes and when she leaves every day. And anyway, you know, it's just a plain Jane journal, nothing special. But every once in a while, I guess that was the first picture. My granddaughter and I were drawing together one day. She's 5 now. She was 4 then. And this is just one. I drew a mandala and colored it. So I liked it. I thought it was pretty, so I cut it out and put it in the journal. And let's see, what else? Oh, this is, it's getting torn up in here. This is a leaf from fall 2014. And this was the prettiest leaf I think I've ever seen. It came off of one of our pear trees. And now it's brown and brittle. But it was, you can still sort of see a pattern there in the middle. This was, I think it was red all the way around, bright red. And then in here, it had bright lime green, big loops all the way around that center vein. And then inside the lime green loops, it had tiny yellow ones. Well, not tiny, but smaller yellow loops all the way around the middle. It was just beautiful. and so I saved it, but it didn't really last. What else up here? I don't know. Every once in a while I'll draw a picture. If I, just to illustrate something I'm talking about. Here, my previous journal or two, I kept track of birds that come to my bird garden, and I would just list all the birds that came that day. And I kind of got away from it, but here in this one I started a little bit again. And the bird garden is just right outside my living room window, and my recliner is just right by that window, so if I'm sitting over here watching TV or reading or something, I can see right into it and make sure I notice most of the birds that come and go during the day. What else? I can't see past the camera here. And I was a little bit bored with my journal. I was still keeping it, but some days I would not really have an entry. I would just write the date and number of eggs, and that was it, no other information. But then I started watching all of your YouTube videos about journaling, and it really inspired me to take an interest again in the creativity of a journal. So here I've put one of my dreams I wrote down that I had that morning, and gratitudes through most days. Here's a printout of a picture of Alaskan bush people that I watch and was watching that night. My one sister and I, we text back and forth for several hours almost every night, and we watch some of the same TV programs, so we snark about those and have fun and just talk about our day and all that. Part of a medicine box that I bought. Cold sores. That's why I'm not picturing myself in this video, because I have cold sore. My husband and I went out to eat and to a Chinese restaurant, and we got fortune cookies, and these were the fortunes in them. And I have a thing about fortune cookies when we eat. Anytime I eat at a Chinese restaurant, whether it's with him or with friends or relatives, whatever, when the waitress leaves the fortune cookies on the table, I always notice how they land, how they're placed, how they're arranged, and I always know which one is my fortune and which one is belongs to every other person at the table. But this time, after she put them down, my husband picked them up before I even saw them, and then he just dropped one in front of me and kept the other one, and I think we got our fortunes mixed, because this is what he gave me, and I don't know, that could be mine, but it doesn't really speak to me. This one sounds more like me, and this one probably, I think, was supposed to be his. This is my favorite herbal tea. I drink it all the time. There's some washi tape just to brighten up a page. And medicine information. And washi tape. This was a prayer that night, and some washi tape and a cross made from the Palm Sunday palm. One of them that we had this year. So I just put it on here, taped it down from the inside loops. This is the book that I'm currently reading, The Diaries of Nella Last, and it's kind of, I ironic that I'm reading a book about journaling, or reading a journal while I'm writing about it in my journal. It's a pretty interesting book, history. Here's a picture I drew that night. This is just yesterday, actually. And gratitudes again. Well, this is where I am now, but I have just barely started on writing today. And there's something else I learned from some of your videos. I'm going to use in July. I'm going to paste that on the page. And then I have one for August too. It'll probably be in my next journal. And I guess that's it. And I am really enjoying the YouTube videos that all of you are posting. To me, they're just so interesting. I can't get enough of them. And I hope y'all will keep them up. I'm going to post often. I really am, because I've got a few journals done that are here, easy to get to. Some are packed away, but some are easy to get to. So I'll be doing more journal flips, and I'll be starting a new one pretty soon. I saw some more fortune cookie fortunes here somewhere, but oh, there they are. That was when some went out with some other people. And that was our different fortunes. And this journal, actually, actually quite a few of my journals I've gotten from the Goodwill store. They have half price day every other Saturday, and I always go if I can. And that's where I got this one. So, and that's where I got my next one too, I believe. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll be doing more. Thank you for watching.